And like I said before the weather, we're going to talk a little bit about the Breckenridge Music Festival, and I am now joined by Thad. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderfully. So tell me a little bit about how you're involved in the Breckenridge Music Festival.
We are part of a free family concert series, which is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock here. And our company is Classical Kids. Classical Kids was started in Toronto by Sue Hammond, simply by noticing that when she's a musician, and simply noticed that when there was classical music playing in the background, when she was playing with her kids, when she was sharing a story with her kids, that they seemed to engage a little bit differently and got a little bit more into the story and got a little bit more excited. And just from that simple little moment, this Classical Kids was started. A lot of our audience members, particularly the young parents, grew up on these CDs. And what we do is there are two actors who are in front of the symphony. So we are like soloists. Our voice are solo instruments that kind of weave the story into the music that we're telling. So what you'll see is Beethoven lives upstairs. It is the somewhat fictitious story of how he creates the Ninth Symphony, and he moves in upstairs and rents out the upper flat of a little boy named Christoph. And of course, at this point, Beethoven is toward the end of his life. This is his final symphony. And so a lot of the problems that Beethoven has, he's not very nice at this point. He's completely deaf. And he has all of this music going on in his head. And so I play the uncle, who is a student of music in Vienna at that time, and he writes me a letter and says, hey, there's this madman living upstairs, this crazy guy who's waking us up in the middle of the night, and he's screaming and yelling and bouncing around, and his paper's thrown, and he's waking up my little sisters because they're babies. And so because I'm in music and Beethoven is my hero, I write him back. And so it's a correspondence of letters that go back and forth, me trying to explain to him what Beethoven is going through, and then also, him telling me what's going on, the crazy things that are happening. So there's about 30 different excerpts. So a lot of people think it's like the best of Beethoven. But what really makes it special is in the orchestra world, it's really kind of a big no-no you just simply don't talk over the music. We sit, we listen. But like I said, we try to weave our words as another musical instrument into the story. So I'm the uncle, Natalie is Christoph, the orchestra really is Beethoven, kind of represents Beethoven as the character, and we weave this story in. So if Christoph is frustrated and upset, you hear one of Beethoven's pieces that sounds frustrated and upset. If he's kind of talking and happy, and then you hear something like Moonlight Sonata or something like that. So it's a really incredibly unique way of introducing young kids, or really any age kid, to classical music, to the emotional story behind these masters. And the parents really get a lot out of it too. I've had a lot of parents, we've done a lot of concerts for adults as well, and they get an opportunity to really understand the emotional, especially with Beethoven, because there was just so much music going on in his head. So it's a 50-minute show. Like I said, it's free, which is amazing. So thank you, Breckenridge Music Festival, in a really, really awesome space. I think
What
there's
time
a
is it?
Starbucks right across there, so you can get Starbucks before,
Before.
So 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
people can stop by. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's really, really cool.
I also love how you said to introduce children to classical music. It's such a fun way to introduce them, so they're not just sitting there bored, they're engaged, and
No, they
that's
are.
really
And,
awesome.
I would say from about age 5 on up,
Right.
because we do want to challenge them.
Yeah.
We do want to challenge them, and we've done this all over the world. So you have an opportunity to see the maestro from Australia, who is now with the Denver Symphony, and we've performed for over 400 orchestras for almost 20 years.
Cool. So definitely something that you want to check out. Well, Thad, thank you so much for telling us all about the show that's going to happen tomorrow. Free show, so you definitely want to make sure that you don't miss it because, I mean, if it's free and it's going to be fun, you shouldn't miss it. There's no reason to miss it. So, yes, like I said, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having us.
We are going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because we'll be right back.